Brothers, welcome back to Territorial IO. First off, before this video begins, I just want to say, wow, thank you guys so much for the support. We were pushing for 20K on Saturday, and I last looked, we're at 20,250 already. Incredible support, and with that does trigger the annual Corgi Cup, the 1v1 tournament. More information will be coming out. I do need to talk to a lot of people. Hopefully information will be announced on Wednesday. But back onto this video. As we all know, the game has gone through quite a renaissance this month with newer maps and new updates. Shout out to Boats, the update I didn't know how bad I needed, my beloved. Oh, love that. And in the spirit of all these changes, I thought I would do something special today and lay out a few ideas I have for the future, ranging from simple quality of life features to whole new game modes for the game we all love, Territorial IO. I'd also like to add, I have nothing but respect for David the creator, and I hope all of you can be respectful as he does most everything by himself. With that being said, these are my suggestions, so take that with a grain of salt and let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let's start out with some simple quality of life changes. Clan points. The way clan points are displayed is in a format of 00.00. For each 100 points a clan earns in game, they receive 0.01 points to the clan's totals. That makes sense once you know it. But the problem is it's not very intuitive system from a new player's perspective. And every day on stream, I'm just explaining that to new players and it just seems too convoluted. My suggestion is to move to a simple point total system. So instead of a point total of 10.00, the points will be displayed as 100,000. You play a game and get 127 points for your clan. At the end, boom, clan points are now 100,127. Ah, simplicity at its finest. In the same vein, attrition needs to be explained there somewhere. As someone who plays this game every day for 2 years, I could not explain that to you. I'm sure someone in the comments will let me know, but that could be better explained. So why not have an option of clicking on a clan to see a log that would say, hey, OG won Europe plus 127 and minus 27 for losing a map. If attrition even works that way, I don't know. The point is, why not make that more obvious? Okay, now that we've spent some time on the display, let's jump into the map pool. My first opinion, 1v1s should be separated out of the map pool. When I started this channel, I was attempting to do a 1v1 series, but the problem with that is 1v1s take forever to come up. And I could be waiting 10 minutes to see a 1v1 game, get in that game, the guy immediately drops, crap, now I'm waiting another 10 minutes. So why not have that as its own suggestion that's always joinable and launches like every
30 seconds?
Because if someone wants to do a 1v1, let them, and it doesn't take away from a map possibility from people who don't want to do that. There really doesn't seem to be a downside to this suggestion, and honestly, I would die on this hill. Next suggestion, I will be very brave and say out loud what everyone says out loud every day. White arena and black arena should be removed from the game. The beauty of this game is using terrain and borders to your advantage and getting the edge by boating to strategic points, and then there's just the arena maps, which are a square. And honestly, I just don't think anyone loads into this game and wants to play in a box. There's just really nothing interesting about playing on these maps. They're always the least populated and really don't have anything to offer to this game anymore. They were novel when they first came on, but it's just kind of at this point. So tell these maps to look at the flowers and put them out of our collective experience. That's a book reference for you Neanderthals who like this map. Now sticking with the map pool, let's move on to game modes. We always have a great base game split between teams and free-for-alls, and then there's zombies. What a great idea. What a way to shake up the monotony and do something different, and I want more of that. I have a couple of ideas, like a King of the Hill game. A point is put down randomly on a map, and a player has to hold that point for, let's say, 3 minutes. If they do, boom, they're the winner. This could have so many layers to it. Do I spawn closer to the point and try and get to the point sooner, knowing that there's going to be more players in that area and it'll be more competitive? Or do I spawn farther away and try and get more land and come in with more power later? The game would be chaos. And again, I am here for the chaos. Another game mode, why not a 1v all? In this game mode, a player starts with a sizable chunk of the map and let's say 500,000 troops. Everyone else starts normally and is all teamed up fighting the one. The battle between the one trying to take out enough players fast enough before the rest get big enough to be able to take him down. A true David versus Goliath, and I'm here for it. Lastly, simple one, but gives flavors. Let's have a duos and trios option. Same format as the 1v1, but that's right, you guessed it, a 2v2 or a 3v3. It just gives variety to a game mode that's already in the system. It'd be nice to pick your teammates ahead of time. I'm not sure the coding requirements to make that work, so I may be asking for something that's not possible for the current game, but I'm a simple man with a simple wish, and that's to pwn some noobs with my friends. Also, David, if you use any of these suggestions, I demand credit in the form of my own emoji. I'll take the addition of any of these game modes as an agreement. Here is my emoji. Okay, next change is a simple one. Why not add mountains and rivers to geographical maps? These features are already in the game, but just not the geographical ones. Let me have my chokehold in the Pyrenees to hold off the French from the peninsula. Let me roleplay as a Viking to sail down the European rivers to invade a country 4 players away. Now, I understand that rivers could be more difficult as you're asking a boat to traverse a narrow path, but by God, if that's possible, I want the chaos. But now let's kind of dive into my probably most controversial suggestion, reworking troop donation in game modes. If you've ever played the game, you know you can donate your troops to anyone on the map at any point in an instance. This does make for some interesting moments for team coordination. It can be the difference between your team winning and losing in very clutch moments, but for anyone playing the game, getting cut off by teammates or worse, a bot, and being demoted to logistical support is honestly kind of boring. This can also be really infuriating when you're cut off by a very weak teammate or a bot that has no chance of taking the land. So my suggestion is to have an option to deploy your troops through your allies, much like boats on land. Your troops can pass through your allies and attack the enemy directly. Donations should be limited to your teammates that you're connected to, at least through other teammates. Think like Risk, how in the reinforcement phase you can reinforce to any piece of land as long as territory giving and receiving the donations are connected. The reason I suggest this is in a very competitive team game like a contest, the dominant strategy is to wait till the end of the bot phase, pick one strong player and everyone just full donates to that guy. Which is like cool, but at the same time you have like 20 people on a team, but really only 2 to 3 are playing past like 2 minutes, and that just doesn't seem like it's capturing the spirit of the game.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
All right, these last suggestions are for the benefit of everyone's favorite population, content creators. That's right, us sweaty nerds who actually play this game for a living need more attention. But no, seriously, when you talk about the health of any game, content creators, whether you like us or not, play an important role in the longevity of the game. I mean, how many new players just came into the game with Dr. Horse in the CYB clan? And with these suggestions, I take this not only from my perspective, someone who's been playing the game for 2 years, making videos on it for 2 years, but from also the conversations I've had with other content creators, as well as from the lens of a new content creator entering the space. First and foremost is player names. Now, this one's about to get a little PG-13, but words like Nazi, molester, pedophile, rapist shouldn't be in the game, period. And I believe there needs to be a better effort to block these types of offensive names in-game. It's not exactly a fun experience to play a game on stream and have a player named Corgi as a rapist, constantly donating one troop over and over and over again to have their name pop up on stream. Platts from Better TT, the almighty god himself, took 1 day to implement this change and gave an option to block players' names when they donate or emote from appearing on screen. Personally, I would never return to the base game without this option added. I believe that's the bare minimum the base game should do, and there's a conversation of where the line should be of what's offensive and what's okay, but I think we can all agree it's much farther than where we are now. If I was a content creator entering the space and this is what I saw and this was my experience, I personally probably would not come back. Especially within the last few months, I think we've all noticed the amount of players with Nazi affiliated names has seemingly exploded, and Nazis shouldn't have a safe space anywhere, nor should they be affiliated with the game. Next up, this one kind of benefits everyone, but private password games. As you guys know, I've mentioned I run the 1v1 Corgi Cup tournament, which I've had to change the script to incorporate the fact that we've already hit 20,000. Thank you again so much for subscribing. But when the first one came up, for those of you who were there, it was an absolute disaster. We were trying to go into a separate lobby on a separate server and try and get into a game, but without being able to block other people from coming in. They were constantly getting stream sniped. The matches were unfair. It was awful and we were probably never going to do it again. Now, we were able to do it again because Better TT does have the private game option in it. That one went a lot smoother. We were able to have the contestants actually have fair matches, and it's a great option for everyone. If you just want to play a game with your friends and, pop into your own game and practice, that's awesome. Creators also benefit from having the flexibility to be creative, and sometimes that does mean being exclusive. It's not taking away from anybody. It's just a great option that kind of benefits everybody. Last option is kind of a streamer mode. As you guys know, when I stream, I only stream games with viewers. This is because it is impossible not to. With the prevalence of multi-tabbers, I could never play this game by myself without a horde of people stream sniping me. I know other content creators have had the same frustrations with the system, and generally most people don't stream without other viewers involved as well. So this one doesn't change much, but just make it so you can't click on a player's name before the game starts. This would at least allow me to hide my screen on stream, pick my spot, at least get a starting opening before the rampage of stream snipers, and at least give me a chance to play the game. Now, generally, there are some benefits to being able to click on a player's name before the game starts, but generally, I think this is an option most players don't use unless they're using it with ill intention. But that will do it for my suggestions. Again, as we kind of wrap things up, understand this game is made by one person. He does a lot of effort. It is not his full-time job. So, be generous with that knowledge. But as we do start to wrap things up, I just want to say, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially if you made it this far in the video. And I will see you guys in the next one.